wondering how I got into this mix.
Hey friends, what's up? This is Derrick Broze with the Conscious Resistance Network, and today we're talking freedom cells once again. For those who are new to freedom cells, check out freedomcells.org. That's freedom, CELLS.org, to find out all you need to about this topic. Of course, you can also check out our playlist on our YouTube channel, our DTube channel, and on Facebook to see all the past videos of what is a freedom cells applied to weather emergencies, tips on building a freedom cell, different things like that. Today, though, we're talking about immigration. If you've been paying attention to anything going on in this country, then obviously you know that immigration, borders, the separation of families, all of this is a very hot topic. I have a separate video where I'm going to get into the philosophical viewpoints on borders and immigration. I've sort of shared my opinions before, but as it relates to the current situation. For now, though, I want to talk specifically about freedom cells, using freedom cells, which are peer-to-peer decentralized groups for the purpose of knowledge sharing, skill sharing, community building, but also defense. This is one of the things I've talked about in a way related specifically to police. I did a video called How to Defend Yourself Against Violent Police. And in that video, I talk about how we can use the concept of freedom cells as a way to start doing role-playing and community preparation for what happens when a violent officer of the law comes into our community and grabs somebody or starts beating somebody up. How are you going to respond to that without having to pull out the guns or having to get yourself harmed and things of that sort? In that video, I talked about how we can not only use freedom cells as a way to defend against violent cops, but also maybe to stop invasions from the Border Patrol and ICE. This is what I want to focus on today. How we can use freedom cells and role-playing and organizing and preparation as a way to defend and slow down and actually resist against ICE or any other criminal of the state. Or maybe you just have some non-state actors who are trying to come kidnap you and your family for some reason. You need to have some type of organizational way to work together. One of the tools for this is Cell 411. Cell 411. Check it out. They have cells just like freedom cells where you can use the app to create your own cell, say the Houston Freethinkers cell, right? Or the Los Angeles Anarchist cell, whatever you want to call it, right? And you get all of your friends to sign up to this cell and to have this app. And basically, it allows you to send out emergency alerts without calling the cops. So you could have a pre-programmed alert that says, hey, ICE is here. You know, maybe if you're in a community where there are lots of immigrants, I know some people like this here in the Houston area, who are living in communities and neighborhoods where most of the people are illegal, or a good majority of them have come here illegally, right? And so, or maybe they came here legally, but they're still just worried about potentially, you know, getting raided by ICE for some reason. So either way, the goal then would be to get everybody in your community, or at least everybody who's going to be a part of this cell and a part of this initiative, and ideally you would want to have multiple cells, because a freedom cell is around 7 to 9 people, right? So 7 to 9 people can do some good job of slowing down the state, but you're going to need more people than that, right? So hopefully you could, let's say you organize a community meeting on your block, and you get everybody, or the vast majority of the neighborhood, to come out, and everybody's talking about, hey, we're worried about what's going to happen if ICE comes into our neighborhood. How are we going to alert each other? How are we going to protect each other? What are we going to do if they start coming down this block and trap us all in here? You have to start thinking in these terms and really asking yourself these questions, unless you plan to just sit silently by and do nothing. Because I'll tell you this, friends, marching in the streets isn't going to fix it. Even though it was great to see thousands of people around the country this past weekend marching against the current immigration policies in the U.S., it's not going to stop ICE, especially if you're just marching around a downtown area being guided by cops. You have to directly challenge those systems if you want to slow them down. Or if you don't want to go challenge them and poke the bear, then you need to at least be able to defend and protect yourself. And that's what we're talking about today. So imagine you have your 7 to 9 people, right? And you guys get together, you start getting everybody to download the Cell 411 app, or maybe another app that you know that's better and more, you know, functional for you guys. But the point is, you have everybody on that app, and everybody understands how it works. You do a little skill share on it. Then you say, okay, guys, what is our plan for the police show up and they start taking one of the community citizens? What are we going to do once we get that alert that says, hey, guys, they're at my door. What do I do? Help me. This is where role-playing needs to come into. This is where you and your community and your decisions and your choices and your preferences come into play. I cannot tell you how to respond to the situation. I can give you advice. I can say that if it was me and if I had enough of a crew of people who cared about this, I would work with them and say, let's role play how we can stop our friends from being taken away by the state. And maybe that looks like people linking arms and physically standing in the way of buildings so that the police, ICE agents cannot get through. How do you respond when you have a gun in your face from ICE? That's up to each of you to decide. That's up to you and your community to decide. Maybe it looks like people open carrying, peacefully but assertively open carrying, and making it clear, hey, we're not going to let you do this, okay? You're going to have to come back with more guns, or you're going to have to arrest all of us, or you're going to back down, right? And maybe those are risks you're not willing to take. I can understand that. I can absolutely empathize. But my point here in doing this video and talking about this topic is that the ICE raids, the violent police, the child protective services, the state in general is going to continue to raid, take people from their families, take children away from parents, arrest people for BS reasons. It's going to do what it wants to do until people start organizing. So if you care about this, if you actually want to do something about ICE, if you want to actually do something to protect your friends and family, then start getting organized. Tell them about freedom cells, mutual aid groups, whatever you want to call them, circles, cells, pods, I don't care. The point is, get organized in your local community, start defending and protecting yourself, because otherwise nothing else is going to matter. They're going to come into your communities, they're going to take your children, they're going to take your friends, they're going to take your parents, and they won't stop until they have taken everybody they want. And as I will get more into in the other video, it's not just about taking immigrants, in case you haven't quite got it yet. It's going to be immigrants first, and then it'll be maybe people who are felons, and then maybe it'll be people who are activists, and then eventually, if you just talk too loud, if you make too much noise, you will be getting raided. You will be getting taken away to some detention center. So think about that before you just blindly accept what's happening. Thank you guys so much for the support. Please, once again, check out freedomcells.org and share your thoughts below. How are you and your community protecting yourselves? What are you doing to make sure that you don't get accosted by some violent agent of the state? Thank you so much for listening. Remember, you are powerful, you are beautiful, and you are free. Peace.